What is CDS? These three letters stand for chlorine dioxide solution. It is a simple substance that can theoretically be produced by any pharmacy or even at home. I would like to present here the facts of this medical therapeutic solution once and for all correctly in a simple way and clearly understandable. Is chlorine dioxide chlorine bleach? No, it is definitely not. Because chlorine bleach is a different liquid, it is a different chemical substance, and you don't need to be a scientist because you can see it just by the color, where it's different. Chlorine bleach is transparent and chlorine dioxide has a strong yellowish characteristic color. Chlorine bleach is a salt which is dissolved in water, and CDS is a gas which is dissolved in water and does not contain sodium chloride salt, because sodium chloride with T and not with D is only a precursor of CDS, just as coal is a precursor of gunpowder, which is also not the same. Unfortunately, there is still too much ignorance with CDS on the internet, where some still present it as chlorine bleach, whereas the precursor sodium chloride is definitely not sodium hypochlorite or chlorine bleach, which is 300 times more toxic. It's like equating carbon dioxide that we exhale with a much more toxic carbon monoxide of a car. CDS is a gas dissolved in water, while chlorine bleach, its precursor sodium chloride, is a salt. The fact that chlorine dioxide is used for disinfection purposes is irrelevant to therapeutic issues, as drugs such as warfarin is a rat poison, it's known as coumadin, used for blood thinning, and nitroglycerin, which is an explosive dynamite, is used for angina pectoris. It also does not matter that it's a disinfectant, because alcohol is also a disinfectant, which large parts of mankind drinks as wine, beer, whiskey, and with preference on weekends and mostly in the company with friends. So how can CDS chlorine dioxide be useful for therapeutic purposes? I've made several patents on the use of this substance, and that is for inflammation, infection of viruses, bacteria, as well as fungi, and also sepsis, that is poisoning the body, as well as hypoxia, which is the main problem with COVID-19. So how it is possible that one substance can solve so many problems at once? The answer is simple. Because there's a common lowest denominator. If we ask ourselves what is the main function of blood in our body, it should be clear that it's primarily oxygen transport. We can go a month without food or 3 days without water, but not even 10 minutes without oxygen. It means immediate death. So we can say that oxygen is the most important element for human life, and if we now look at CDS chlorine dioxide, we see that it's an oxygen carrier, which contains O2. It means oxygen bound to a chloride ion. But the chloride ion is not toxic chlorine, because chlorine gas is Cl2, while chloride ion is Cl-, and inside the body it combines with sodium to sodium chloride with a D, and that's common salt. Each human body has more than 300 grams of salt, which is absolutely necessary for life. So CDS is a real oxygen carrier, which, unlike ozone therapies, does not need red blood cells to be transported inside the body. Is chlorine dioxide toxic? Any substance is toxic, no matter which one it is. It always depends on where it is used, inhaled, drunken, or the skin. Second, how much, because the amount makes the poison, which any toxicologist can confirm. And third, how long, that is, over what period of time. CDS has toxicity of 292 mg per kilo, which is technically similar to caffeine. So theoretically we can poison yourself with both, but you have to drink 10 liters of concentrated chlorine dioxide over a solution for 14 days, which is technically impossible, because unlike coffee, the taste of chlorine dioxide is unfortunately not the same. The toxicity of chlorine dioxide is also self-warning, as the taste becomes unbearable as the concentration increases. So the daily dose of chlorine dioxide on an average of 30 to 60 milligram of a gas dissolved in water. This in turn corresponds to 0.8 milligram per kilo, where a person of about 70 kilo would have ingest over 20,000 milligram for a period of 14 days to poison himself. That's the LD50 dose, which is impossible. Is CDS the same as MMS? No, it is definitely not, because MMS contains sodium chloride with a T, that is NaClO2, in its mixture, because this is not present in CDS, because there's only the pure gas, which is also pH neutral and therefore cannot create chemical burns in this concentration. CDS is therefore a further development which does not produce any dangerous side effects, and it also does not enter in the intestine, since it evaporates as a gas from 11 degrees Celsius, and since the stomach is 36.5 degrees Celsius, CDS then diffuses immediately through the stomach wall into the body. It does not cause diarrhea, unlike MMS, since it does not enter the intestines as such and does not make a second reaction in the stomach. Since it does not contain any sodium chloride with a T, so how does chlorine dioxide work? It has been known for over 100 years in the industry that it's the best disinfectant ever, as it works perfectly well against viruses, bacteria, fungi, prions and spike proteins. Unlike other medical substances, it does not poison them, but oxidize them. It means they are destroyed by an electrothermal process. So it is a kind of burning similar to fever in the human body or our phagocytosis, which is successfully uses the mechanism of oxidation in macrophages for millions of years without possible resistance on the part of the pathogens. The pathogens cannot become resistant to combustion. And the smaller they are and the more acidic the pH is, the more efficient is chlorine dioxide. Can chlorine dioxide attack our own cells? No, it cannot, because the dose is much too small, and on the other hand our cells are much too big, which has been scientifically proven. That is why it does not oxidize implants. It is also not the same as if I would light a cotton ball with a match, which would be a case for a virus or a bacteria and a fungi, while our cells are proportionally huge, like a tree trunk, which I cannot ignite with the same simple match, and because our cells are able as well to dissipate electric currents. These are scientific studies that have clearly proven that CDS does not attack even sensitive stem cells, unlike commercial drugs. On the contrary, it promotes their growth and their differentiation, which is also proven with patents and scientific studies. How does chlorine dioxide work inside the body? Well, after CDS, which has been proven not to react with gastric acid, is absorbed by evaporation through the stomach wall, according to first Fick's law, it travels through the body via the blood circulation and behaves neutral, according to the second Fick's law, until it encounters a proton-rich, it means an over-acidified zone. These over-acidified zones can be inflammations which contain histamine, which is then oxidized because it is pH acidic. It can also be lactic acid in the blood, which has been shown to be rapidly oxidized, and this helps to de-acidify the body. In case of viruses, their prominences, the spike proteins that contain cysteine or tyrosine, are oxidized regardless of the variant, as it is the case with corona. Every virus needs different acids to attack cell, and these acids will react with CDS, chlorine dioxide, because it contains a chloride ion, which is an oxidant, and at the same time it releases oxygen O2 at exactly the same problem area, which normally has circulatory disturbances. CDS, chlorine dioxide, also its pH neutral, can release 4 electrons which are negatively charged and cancel protons which are the positively charged acid. It is therefore an electrothermal process which can be explained biophysically, and it's not a typical pharmaceutical process which works with receptors. So this can also be observed in the blood, which is deoxygenated under the microscope. When we add chlorine dioxide solution to oxygen-deficient blood, it recovers immediately because it immediately absorbs the oxygen of the ClO2 released after the separation caused by hyperacidity. Therefore, if we assume that over 90% of all diseases also provoke hyperacidity, so-called acidosis, it is absolutely logical why this substance is and can be efficient in so many different diseases. It is therefore a new technology which has never been used in this way in pharmaceuticals until now. Also, the toxicity, or rather the non-toxicity of CDS, has been well studied and known for more than 100 years. It is mostly used for drinking water treatment. How is CDS chlorine dioxide applied practically? The handling is very simple. Of a concentrated CDS stock solution of 3000 ppm, which corresponds to 0.3% CDS chlorine dioxide solution, 10 milliliter is added to 1 liter of water, which then is drunk in 10 doses during the day. It is therefore very easy to use. It's called Protocol C. Therefore, a single dose is only 3 to 6 milligram. To intoxicate an adult of LD50 level or 50% of 70 kilos requires 20,440 milligrams over 14 days. And in 15 years, no critical interactions have been observed when taken in the interval of 1 hour from the intake of the chlorine dioxide, because the gas is already absorbed in the body within less than 15 minutes and lasts only there for a maximum of 2 hours. Because CDS chlorine dioxide quickly decomposes into salt, less than 1 milligram or a crumb, and oxygen in the body, leaving no residuals that can react with other drugs. Therefore, it is not harmful to the liver and the kidney function, because it's just the opposite is true. Liver and kidney creatinine, for example, values have been shown to improve. The substance is definitely the greatest discovery of medicine in 100 years so far. And this is the motivation for me to consider it my life's work, that in the future this substance will be legally available to everyone, free of charge in every pharmacy, as it is now also the case in Bolivia. There we were able to achieve a law that CDS chlorine dioxide can be used for coronavirus, and it is also used successfully as in many other Latin American countries, such as Honduras, where by the new law any doctor can use it without being prosecuted in any way. What most people don't know is that any physician in the world, in most countries, can use CDS according to the paragraph 37 of the Helsinki Protocol of the World Medical Association, the WMA. So as long as he has or she has the consent of the patient, who must duly be informed about this treatment. No doctor should be prosecuted for this, as there are now more than enough published scientific studies on humans about CDS, which on one hand clearly prove the non-toxicity of these doses, as in 3 studies with well over 3,000 patients, they were successfully treated with CDS over a longer period of time. The certified success rate was over 99.3% in thousands of patients for coronavirus. Unfortunately, this fact is constantly suppressed by the mainstream press and the big tech like Google, YouTube, Facebook, just as I am constantly bullied as a person, although I am absolutely irrelevant as a person, because this is not about me, it's about the facts. However, more and more people are waking up and realize that, unfortunately, the real fake news is spread by so-called fact-checkers and mainstream press, because they are paid for it, spreading lies. For this reason, unfortunately, there are still many doctors who mistakenly think that it is toxic, although they have never studied about chlorine dioxide in the Faculty of Medicine. So I ask the doctors, please, to really study it, instead of continuing to believe the mainstream press, which portrays genetic manipulation by human inoculation as a safe vaccination, which it is absolutely not, since it has caused the death of many thousands of people, unlike chlorine dioxide. According to the doctors of the Communist organization, which is an organization of 27 countries with over 5,000 doctors, chlorine dioxide in the form of CDS has proven to be an effective and useful solution to the damage of genetic inoculation, and it has successfully oxidized the spike protein of the SARS-CoV-2 virus, for which there are now scientific studies present. They therefore recommend taking 3 to 6 months of Protocol C of 10 milliliter diluted in 1 liter of water throughout the day, and have been able to confirm the effectiveness of CDS chlorine dioxide in vaccination damage and thousands of cases, and it helps to dissolve blood clots. I would like to quote Mark Twain, who said, "Even with all the evidences in the world, you cannot convince an idiot." There is a solution to the problem, so it's up to each person to study and apply it. This solution has been confirmed in detail by the new book Bye Bye COVID by over 30 doctors with hundreds of thousands of people. The impressive data of this fascinating book comes from courageous doctors and researchers. 3-star military generals, medical police doctors, NASA employees, brave politicians and award-winning journalists, and it's backed up by published scientific studies. I truly recommend it.